Ahaha. Guess who's back, girlies?
Y'all.
Back in your ears.
We have so much to catch up on. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Staying Up with Cami and Taryn. I'm Cami.
And I'm Taryn. And every night we get to have a sleepover, and every week, and also maybe every month, we invite you guys to join us.
Missed you guys. I feel like I'm in trouble.
I do too.
I'm like, listen, guys.
Look.
This was not planned. Honestly, we tried so hard to only miss 1 week.
This is what sucks. We were our best selves before this all happened. We
went into the holidays like, we're going to work. And we did.
We worked, and then we said, we emailed our network and said, would it be okay if we take 2 weeks off? And he said, it'd really be better if you just take 1 week off. And we were like,
fine.
Heard. Okay, we're smart businesswomen.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's been a month and a half. No, it's been a month.
It's been a month. Obviously, like, we don't need to explain. There were several fires happening in LA. We were evacuated. We didn't bring our equipment at first. I did come back home to get the equipment and did get it. I then spiraled into an anxious, depressive state. We started another round of fertility treatments that then sent me into the deepest depression I've ever been in my life. So, like, if you guys can't understand that, are you even a peepee?
No, you guys have been so loving, and honestly, like, the pings that we get are like, hey, gentle.
They're wellness checks.
Are you guys gonna post again?
They're like, are you guys alive? Is the podcast over?
And I appreciate it. I appreciate being missed.
Everyone's so sweet.
I love to be missed.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I'd be so butthurt if no one was like, where's the podcast? I'd be like, oh, they don't care.
Bitches don't care. But you know what? Bitches do care.
Bitches be caring.
And so yeah, it's just been a time for us. Our sweet baby Camden is, dare I say,
dead.
Well, it's like she's not on the struggle bus. It's like she's strapped to the top.
No, I'm being dragged behind it. Strapped to the top sounds incredible.
And I'm trying to drive it to safety.
I'm handcuffed to something on the back and flopping the fuck around on gravel.
And I am not only trying to drive it to safety, I'm running up and down the aisles trying to make sure she has water, trying to feed her.
Just throwing things out the back.
Trying to entertain her, like, dance at her.
Here. I'm not doing well. So if you sense my low energy, just like, yeah.
Yep. Do you want to talk about it at all?
We can.
What are you feeling right now? I know you're thinking of a funny thing.
No, I'm not. I'm like, how do I explain this? So, okay, just to clarify, if you haven't been following me on socials, I did just
Which one? Why? My wife's depressed.
Please
follow her.
I did rev everything up. I've posted like 7 TikToks in the last 2 days.
Yeah, you're
awake.
I'm
back on YouTube. I'm posting on Instagram. I'm here. I did disappear most of the time we were gone and like not even post on anything. But now I'm sharing. She didn't even post
in real life. I didn't see her.
You didn't see me.
I never got an update. Mama was lights off.
Yeah. I have started more hormone treatments for IVF. I don't mean to be like vague or coy about any of the stuff that we're doing, but as it's getting closer to trying, we're being a little protective because the more that we share, oh my God, sorry. I think there's a glass pane in our doors that is broken. Sorry, guys. I just, like, little things right now going wrong will make me spiral. And I'm sat here looking at our beautiful new garage doors, and I'm like 99.9% sure that there is a complete crack in one of the windows.
Did they just break that?
Did
the gardeners just break it?
I think someone, maybe they were like cleaning and a rock hit it or something. I don't know. Listen, we're not going to focus on that. I had to address it because I actually like couldn't move forward until I said something. But Taryn, I need you to be a little bit more calm because I'm going to freak out. You can't freak out.
I'm fine.
This is my time to be freaked out. You need to keep it together.
Sorry, I'm here.
Anyways.
I've been really trying to keep it together.
We are trying to not overly share the timeline of everything because if for whatever reason things don't work out on first tries or whatever it may be, if we tell the whole world, oh, we find out on this day if the transfer worked, then we have to tell that many people that it didn't work. And like, you're not even really supposed to tell people you're pregnant until you're through your first trimester, which that's never going to happen. Like, literally the second we find out, we're going to tell you guys. So that's that. So yeah, we're not trying to not share this, and we will. I'm recording everything. We will share it. It's just like less in real time right now. But my mic won't stay up.
It's okay. Everyone, it's okay.
Out.
Everyone, it's okay.
Just me. But
No,
yeah,
the
so I
PP's
started estrogen injections. They are intramuscular, which means they're in your muscle. So they're like bigger needles, deeper in your butt. And then today I've
Not
done
bigger, deeper in your butt.
bigger, deeper in your butt.
Unfortunately,
And I know it sounds fun.
I know. Unfortunately, it's not the fun kind. Someday.
Honestly, bigger, deeper in your butt doesn't sound fun either.
Well,
Let me clear. To who?
everything sounds fun right now.
Anything sounds more fun.
Anything sounds fun.
Yeah, so I've been doing those, and those have made me severely depressed. I have now started also progesterone, which I have heard makes you rage.
That to me, we go onto Reddit. People talk about like consistent fits of rage that they experience.
Like roid rage.
And I am like,
So scared.
this feels like when the fire alerts were coming and we didn't know where they were coming from, and it was like, will we need to evacuate?
Coming from
will
inside the house.
Will it burn down the house?
And she might.
And then it's just this little sweet creature who
Is
you never
gonna
know what's
rage.
coming out next.
Yeah, so I've been like very sad, very numb, very depressed, and apparently I'm gonna be soon.
She's gonna be raging.
I've had many conversations in my DMs today from people being like,
Buckle
"Girl,
up.
I don't know what monster came out of me." Yeah. Yeah.
So
I don't feel ragey yet. And I had my first injection this morning, which feels way too soon to feel the side effects. So,
let's
but
see.
they happen twice a day, so I'm gonna be pumped full.
So,
Good luck, Tara.
and I'm already struggling, to be honest. It's something I'm trying to work through
Yeah.
personally, which is like when someone in my life is upset, I become extremely focused on it in a way that bothers them because
And I'm too irritable for that. I'm like,
want to check in on her all the time. I like want to be around her. I'm like
yeah.
kind of pesky kid energy, I think. Or I'll get butt hurt that the
you,
way
like,
I'm
take it
trying to
personally.
show love is not the way she needs it. But then I'll ask, but then I don't. It's a whole. I'm really trying to figure it out.
You also like take me feeling sad personally, and I'm like, it's not about you.
Right. Well, sometimes it does feel at me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
You're just
at
there.
and about are different.
Yeah.
You being mad at me and you being mad
About something you did.
about
me
something.
just like being not in a good mood, so I'm like not being lovey or silly, does not mean anything about you.
And I have a really hard time. I know people are like, I'm so empathetic. Blah, blah. I don't mean empathetic. I'm
you just
super
take
sensitive.
on. Yes. It's not
to
empathetic
everyone
of like,
around
oh,
me.
I understand how you're feeling. It's like,
I would like it to
oh,
be.
now I'm depressed too.
No, I think that's mean.
Mean? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
I am also empathetic and I do like understand how you feel. I mean, I don't understand exactly how you feel. Obviously, I can't. But like, I do try to understand how you feel and like help you and be there for you and stuff.
I didn't say you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying that it's not empathy in the sense of like, wow, I really feel for what this person's experienced. It's empathy in, I am now taking on every feeling you're feeling.
Yes.
It's like you're like a sponge.
I'm a sponge. And then I don't want to, and then I feel scared that I'm feeling anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this isn't even my thing. Then how do I fix you? But then she's like, I can't be fixed. I'm like, I don't want
leave me
fixing.
the fuck alone.
She's like, leave me alone. And then I'm like, well, what would I want in this scenario? I would like to be smothered. And then sometimes she wants to be smothered, but she can't say it. It's a whole thing.
Yep.
So we're trying. It has been a tough month in our life, I would say.
Yeah, I think over a month. December felt nice. I feel like we took a little break from fertility treatments. And thank God we did. Like, oof, the timing would have been horrific.
Yeah.
But it just went by so quickly and we were so busy that I don't know. It's just been our sole focus right now, which has been fine. Like the egg retrievals and stuff, like we powered through that. But this, I just like, the hormones are just too much.
Yeah.
They're too much. Freaking
And
out.
what sucks is like we don't want to scare anyone away from doing this because like it is the only way, or it is one of the only ways for so many people.
But it's not. There's a million options, and I'd rather share it so people know if they are scared of
the
this.
only way to get the thing that we want,
the way
which
we
is
want it
my egg in your body.
Yeah.
This is the process of that thing.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot harder than we both thought that it would be. It's obviously a lot more expensive, which we've talked about, but now seeing the emotional toll that it's taking on you, and then honestly like on us, not from a just you thing. I'm just saying the stress of it is big. It's not small, and it is really hard to just talk about the same thing, the same heavy thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And
it's just exhausting.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
Yeah, I think it's really important for people. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And everyone's experience is different. Like, you see people breeze through it. You see people take years and years and years. I think when we made the decisions on, I now have had time to sit with it. And I wouldn't change the way we went about it. And even like talk to some people who have done different processes. And they're like, it's very grass is greener, because people will do IUI and it doesn't work for years, and then they have to do IVF and they wish they would have just started with IVF. So it's like you have to make what feels best for you. But when we made the decision to do IVF first, reciprocal IVF first, I was basing it off of just what I wanted. I wanted us both physically involved in creating the first baby.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted that experience with you, and I wanted it for our first baby, not our second baby. Now I was like sitting with it and how hard this is, and thought, IUI and just using my egg for the first baby would have been an easier step into this whole process. So we didn't have to do everything. We could have taken time on your egg retrievals. They wouldn't have felt so like necessary. Hurry up, gotta happen now. You have to do a second one. And I could or couldn't have done egg retrieval. Like, I could have just as backups if I wanted, but I could have skipped that.
Right.
So there are ways to make it a shorter process, a less draining process, but you just never know what your body's going to do. So you could try to do it that way and make it easier on yourself, and it could be 10 times harder.
Yeah.
So you just have to do your best. But I think having all the information, at least that's how I operate, makes me feel better. I'd rather know every single thing about something to make that proper decision.
And I know that in a year, ideally, we will be sitting here with our kid and we're going to be like, that was worth everything.
Of course.
Of course we will. And it's like having to remind myself that like,
and then we would just have to do this process later on, and it'd be harder on my body because I'd be older. Like, once we're through it, we're going to be glad the hardest part is over. But we did choose the most involved, most difficult, hardest route to do first.
Yeah.
Which is just taxing. As we've never been through fertility treatments,
Right.
we dove headfirst. Like, there's nothing else we could have done. We did the hardest way possible.
Yeah.
And we're going to be, it's like when you wake up in the morning, check the hardest thing off your list to make your day easier. We're doing that.
Right.
But we're just still on that first task. So it feels daunting.
Yeah.
Once we're through it, we're going to be like, oh, once I just have to do, I mean, I'll be doing IVF again because we've already made embryos with my egg. Or now that I know how this was, I can try IUI and not use the embryos that we've made. I could just try IUI and see how that works. Like, we have options.
Yeah.
But boy, is it tough while we're in it.
It's just a lot. And I think what is hard for us, what has been hard for us, which I haven't even talked to you about, but I just am realizing now, is like we had gotten into a really good, a much better conflict resolution strategy of like trying to bring things up to each other in a really like calm, whatever manner, and like actually try to hear each other. Like, we've been really working on how we fight. And I feel like we'd gotten into a really good groove, but what that required of us was to be very outright about when we were feeling upset or sensitive.
Yeah.
And
drop
then,
our egos, be really open.
and then now we've carried that into this extremely heightened state for both of us. And so it just feels like that worked for us when we weren't feeling crazy. And now that we're feeling crazy, it's like everything feels so sensitive. Why would you bring this up? But it's like that worked for us like a month ago.
That's such a good point.
You know?
To your first point, like I feel like we had hit like the peak, not the peak because it's not going to go down, or like the groove of us before all of this, which thank God. I mean, it really helped us
100%.
that we were like, we're in the best place we've ever been, which is also really exciting because I think with our relationship, it just, obviously we're going to have shit happen where we have like off seasons or hard times. But I feel like with us, we just get better and better and better and better. Like the problems we have get less and fewer far between. Is that the saying? Fewer and farther between?
I never know. You just kind of walk through it really fast.
Fewer and far between. Yeah, it's one of those things you just kind of like say it. Yeah. And nobody's going to stop you. Yeah, it's just like fewer and far between.
Fart-tween.
Fart-tween. It's far between. You just fart through it.
It's so important to fart through it.
It's so important. Yeah, I just feel like
fewer and further between.
Whatever. We work really hard. Like this is our jobs to us. This is like our thing that we want to master. We both really feel that deeply, I think, about relationships with friends, family, and each other more specifically. And I think we're going to do it as parents too. Like we are very sensitive. So it sucks when we get it wrong. And I think our first instinct is to be butthurt and be defensive. But it's because we care so much to get it right. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we've worked so hard to get there. And then to your second point, that I didn't even realize that like something we had to work on. And I do feel like some couples, it's like you over bring up every little fucking thing where it's like not everything needs to be a discussion. Certain things you let roll off your back, but you need to know yourself.
Right.
Can I let this roll off my back? Can I not care that like you were a little snippy with me? Because guess what? Every fucking person gets snippy.
Yeah.
And when you spend 24/7 with each other, you're going to hear me get snippy. I'm going to hear you get snippy. Like, let it go.
Yeah.
Or is it something where, oh, I feel like they've gotten snippy a couple times this week and now I'm looking into it and feeling like you're upset with me and not telling me. And now it's becoming a thing in my head and I'm making up a whole story. Now it's time to talk.
Yeah.
But you're right. We got in a place where we were needing to, but over communicating.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you and I are very sensitive, and we're empathetic, but we get stuck in our own emotions and we're just like, how don't you get it? You're so nice. You're so caring. You're so empathetic. How are you not understanding how I'm feeling? And we get stuck in that. So we've really had to like talk it out when we get hurt over little things. But now, especially for me, I am so hormonal and just like, I know I'm not me. I'm just literally, I feel like I'm in a room that they filled with water and it's like at the top and I'm like using any energy I have to keep my mouth above water so I can like breathe. And every now and then I like sink under and need to like drown for a minute and then come back up and be like, and then I feel like when you're pointing out something that I'm doing wrong right now, you're like shoving my head underwater. That was a gruesome. Jesus Christ. Or maybe you're like, okay, better example. I mean, same example, but instead of you shoving my head, you're pouring your little cup of like upset in there. So even though that little cup has like an ounce of water.
Yes, I think that's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, you're not holding my head underwater. That's crazy. That's
absolutely insane.
Strike that from the record
in front of every pee-pee that is ever
I'm so sorry.
lived.
That's yeah, that was crazy. That was like, you're killing me. I don't know. That got really dark. That's how you know where my brain is. You are pouring like a drop of water in there.
But a drop of water is, you can't handle one drop of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Sorry, honey.
It's okay. It's just, and I know like you're doing it out of a good place. You're trying to help me get out of these, like you'll be doing something silly. And I'm like, I don't want to even laugh right now. And I feel like I'm going to hurt your feelings if I'm like not silly with you. And now I'm feeling forced to be silly. And then I'm mad. Or you're checking in on me. And I'm like, I can't articulate how I'm feeling. Stop asking me. It's like everything you're doing is so sweet, so kind, so loving, so intentional and meaningful. But it's just not what I can handle right now.
Totally.
And then it's hurting your feelings.
And we're coming up on those things with this never happening prior. These are new things too. Like like Cam had a business meeting that was like 3 hours long, and she came home, and I was so excited, and I was like, dude, how was your meeting? Like, how'd it go? And
you said, what'd you guys talk about?
What'd you guys talk about?
Yeah.
I said, how was your meeting? What'd you guys talk about?
And in my head, I was like, I disassociated from, it took everything in me to focus during that meeting for 3 hours that I was like, when you asked me, what'd you talk about? I was like, I don't know. And then I felt so overwhelmed. I'm like, why would you ask me that?
She like got upset basically.
Yeah, I was
that
like, you need to ask more
asked her
pointed
that,
questions.
and then kind of told me that my questions need to not be so broad. And it's like, you have never said that in our 8 years of knowing each other.
You're like, I say
longer.
2 words and I can listen to you ramble for 8 hours.
I'm like, I'm shocked I even had to prompt you. Normally you come in, you're like, time with Maddie, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what? Like, that was a total new thing.
Because trying to search for things to share with you from that 3 hours in my head, I felt like I was walking in like a dark blank room, and I was like, where'd the bookshelf go?
Yeah.
Like, where's the info?
Right.
And I was just like, what's happening?
And my thought with that was, retrospectively, I think, I don't want to be so specific that it makes you feel stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was to say, did you talk about what brand deals you have next month?
Yeah.
I'm like, that feels like that would stress her out. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what happened? How was it?
You're like, let me just
trying
be
to
light.
let me just,
You're
can
like
take
trying
it
to
where you need to
tiptoe.
go.
And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
all to say, we're like, it's been hard. And I will take ownership of like, I really panic when things that are very grounding for me lose grounding. Like I feel very alone and scared. And so like when Cam is like the most grounding person to me and you are not you.
Yeah.
And this is not to make you feel bad.
No,
I'm just trying to express where this comes from.
Yeah. No, it's
I
helpful
like
to hear.
very quickly go to like, my life isn't right. Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it will never be what it was. Like I like lose a pillar of me. And I know that sounds so dramatic, but that's how it feels. I'm like, oh my God, what if this is our dynamic for the rest of our relationship? And like whatever magical thing we had these last 5 years is never to be gotten again. Mm-hmm. And then I spiral and I'm like, oh my God, is this like why couples like lose touch and drift away and like all that stuff? Because I'm like, oh, did it just happen to them? It's so hard for me to like not take the current state as that is what
permanence.
that is permanent.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel in my health anxiety. That's how I feel in so many of my stresses, where like it's very hard for me to not think this is permanent. So when I like am experiencing a rift in our relationship that feels like something neither of us should experience for a long period of time. Yeah. I'm like, well,
that's it.
There it goes. That was fun.
Yeah. And I'm glad we actually kind of like hit that button before this round of fertility stuff started. Because it's something that I have noticed about you that I have realized impacts me negatively, and I didn't really know how to articulate it. And we had a conversation where I was sharing that like I think sometimes you see our relationship, like you just said, in the same way as your health anxiety, where we go doomsday really quick, where if we have one fight, if we have one off week, if whatever happens, it's like, oh, things are bad. Mm-hmm. And it really upsets me that we have like 99.9% incredible relationship, everything's great, and then like one thing will be off, or you'll compare it to like, well, do other people have this or that or blah, blah, blah. And that makes me feel so sad, because that also scares me that if you're that quick to go doomsday, would you be that quick to leave or throw in the towel or be like, oh, this one bad week means we have a bad relationship? And that really scares me. Yeah. And so then I feel very like adverse to that energy when I can tell you're getting there. Yeah. Especially when we're not off. I'm like, I know that it's me right now. I know that like,
well, but
this is my fault. But it's
how I'm being is not working for you.
Well, too. Sure. But it's like your baseline, how you're being works. Yeah. And right now that's not working for me. Like, I know that like I'm the common denominator that is like changing this, like, which I'm not saying it's my fault. Like I'm taking on this burden to 100%. Make our family. And I know that. And I like am proud of myself for doing it. Like, I'm not mad at myself, but it just freaks me out so much. And I like see that in you of like, you're upset at this dynamic right now. And then I get scared that if it doesn't change quickly, this is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And then I take on that fear and that burden. And then it just, and then I end up like being mad at you. Cause I'm like, this isn't fair. Like how is she going as like our relationship's bad? Because I'm literally like injecting myself with craziness every day, like pure craziness.
I think, I don't think our relationship is bad. I think
No,
you're
I know
saying that in
you,
hyperbole, but
I know you don't,
Yeah.
but that's how it comes
feels.
off. Yeah.
I think I am just realizing I've never lived in an experience. I've never lived in discomfort with someone else that is really close to me. I've never fought with my mom or dad in a long enough time where I've been like, we're off.
Yeah.
I've never fought with my brothers that way, my best friends that way. I've never been like, we're stuck in a space physically or metaphorically. And a metaphoric space.
Yeah, I was like, what?
But with people that I live with, or just like the closest people to me.
Yeah, like we're doing this, so we're fixing it, and we're not. Yeah,
It just,
yeah. I mean, I see you do this with your friends too. Like it'll be the smallest thing of like they upset you in a way that's like clearly a misunderstanding, like whatever, and I see you spiral or make it a bigger thing than it needs to be for a minute, and then you like ground yourself and come back or talk to them.
I've gotten really good at doing that with my friends.
You have.
I've gotten good at being like, friends are chapters, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel that with you, and I don't feel that with my family.
We're not chapped. Like there's you don't take space from your partner.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is that like I've never had, like, we always hear people in marriages be like, oh yeah, we had like a year where we hated each other. I don't know how to do that.
Well, I don't ever want to do that. Like we can have hard years where like we aren't in our groove, but hating each other is crazy.
I just like, that scares me. Tenseness in a living space scares me.
We're not doing that.
So bad.
We're not doing that.
So even if it's this short of a time, I'm not.
It rocked you.
It rocks me. Something about it makes me feel very ungrounded. And I think it's like, with my anxiety, I have always been, I have my safe people. I have my safe stuff. I have this is how I felt when fucking people found out candles were so bad for you. All this stuff came out about candles.
Well, even like us not having our basement, and that's where like you work down here.
Yeah.
You talked about it every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just work in the dining room. And you're like, but it's not my space that I expected, that I felt safe. I'm just
because I'm so afraid of like feeling I don't even think it's like out of control. I know my comfort things. And so when something or someone that is my thing that brings me comfort isn't that, I'm like, I don't.
It's like a little kid like losing their like teddy bear.
Yeah, I'm like, what are we doing?
We learned one of the reasons why the pandemic was so hard is because people need that routine.
Yeah.
And if they don't have that routine, they at least need to know when it's going to end.
Totally.
That's why like vacations work.
Yeah.
You wouldn't enjoy your vacation if you never knew when you were coming home. You would get stir crazy, even if it was an incredible time.
Right.
We need that stability. So when you are off with your people and you don't know when this is going to change, like right now, we know I'm on hormones for a while. Hopefully, I then get pregnant. That's more hormones. Then we know stories of postpartum, and then we have kids. So I think in your head, you go, this might be the beginning of changes. If we can't work through it now, who's to say it gets better?
I'm not telling you like, get better.
Yeah.
Start acting like yourself again. Like, that's not how I feel. I just start to feel like if I don't get maybe glimpses of it within a period of time, my brain is like, this is forever. And I feel like we've had, it doesn't even sound that long, but like, let's call it just the last month or whatever of just like a lot happening where like, I feel like you've not been okay and whatever. It feels like it's been a year. And I'm sure it feels longer for you. Like, it just feels big. And I'm like, does she remember liking me?
Oh, baby, I like you right now.
No, but like, that's how I feel. I'm like, do you remember thinking I'm funny?
I do.
But lately you don't.
I do think that's not true though. See, maybe that's no, it's true. Maybe that's part of it. I'm not where you are. I very much so know this is temporary, but even in it, I still look at you and think, wow, I really like her. Wow, she's so pretty. Wow,
I don't
she's
feel
so
that,
funny. I know you don't feel that
all.
because I
Yeah.
can't. I'm in a state where I'm so numb, I can't show emotions.
Yeah.
But I know, like, she's in there.
Okay.
I know that, and it's not like I remember how I feel. I am still feeling those things.
Okay.
And maybe that's why you go so doomsday, that you think like through a hard time, all the good is disappeared and evaporated. I don't sit here and go like, hope I find her funny in a couple weeks again.
Okay.
I'm not feeling that. I still think you're incredibly funny and interesting and enjoyable. Like, I still think all of those things, but I know that certain ways you're trying to cheer me up or certain things you're doing aren't working for me now.
Yeah.
But I know that I love all those things about you. I'm not like hoping to like those again.
Okay.
I currently like them. So yeah, I remember.
Okay.
My little sweetie. Should we move into the life wheel?
So dramatic.
Listen, well, we're
Jesus Christ.
what else do we have to talk about?
No, I just mean,
Taryn's worried I hate her.
Yeah.
I am numb to everything. Like we talked about it.
So let's do our life wheel.
I'm very hesitant to do this today because as we were filling out our life wheels, which I will have Taryn explain for those of you who don't know, we do it every year. So most of you have been requesting that we do this. It's really hard to do these when you're like deep in something big, which is why most of the years whenever we record this, we say, don't do it around the holidays or New Year's if it's a hard time for you. Those are like really tough times for people. And this year, January has been really tough for people. So if you've done your life wheel already, great. Share them with us. Send them over. We'd love to see them. And if you haven't, it's okay to like wait. If you want to set resolutions and check in on yourself in March, April, May, like a year starting. Oh, it's the lunar year right now.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, if that feels good to you, do it then. Like do what works for you. We are not taking that advice, and we did just do this before recording this episode. Yeah. I'm really trying to see these things through a lens of where I know baseline Cam is and look at the whole year. That's also, you're supposed to do your life wheel looking back at the year, not looking at a month, a week, a moment in it. I will pop a picture reference up so you guys can follow along because it's a little confusing just to explain it. But while I do that, will you explain what a life wheel is for the little peepees who don't know?
Yeah, it's basically just an exercise that you can do once a year or a couple times a year that basically helps you figure out where you are in your life in different areas of your life. So if people say like, how are you? And you don't know how to respond, this is a really good way. Yeah, this is like a really good way to figure out what areas of your life you're satisfied in versus not. So you, like that visual shows, you have a wheel, you split it into 8, and then this
little pie.
It's a pie. And the sections that we use, if you would like to do it along with us, which many of you do, which is why we're excited to have you here. That's not why. One of the things we love about you is that you do the life wheel with us. Thank you. These are the sections: friends, health, career, love, spirituality, family, fun, and money. And
you can do whatever categories are pertinent to you. If any of those don't reflect you in your life, you can swap them out.
And so we do a scale of 1 to 6, 1 being I'm the least satisfied in this area that I have been, and then 6 is like I'm extremely totally satisfied here. Mm-hmm. So you could be a 6 on money. That doesn't mean you have a bunch of money. It means you're satisfied with how you are doing, about how much you're working for it, about whatever. So it's rating your level of satisfaction in that area of your life.
I just thought of something. I was thinking, like, as I said, they can pick their categories. I don't know that spirituality makes sense for my wheel.
Yeah.
And then it got me thinking, like, what else would I put in there? And I ran through a few in my head, but I think it would be really interesting to do a couples one where instead, like on here, we have love, but it'd be nice to do like different things of like division of labor, sex, dates, whatever it may be, like sections of our relationship, stability, comfort, whatever matters.
Yeah. Let's do it.
And doing like how we feel about that. I think it would, I mean, we're definitely not doing it right now. Tara's gonna be like, hate, loathe.
So loathe entirely. So every year we do this and just check in with ourselves, and we love the peepees that send us in your wheels as well. Cool.
Yeah, send them on over. We like to post a few on Instagram. It's really fun to just like see where everyone's at. So let's jump in,
And we're sorry
baby.
for doing this so late. We know a lot of you have already done them. But if you've waited, thank you for waiting. Let's start with money. What did you give yourself?
Money, I gave a 3.
Nice.
It's not that I feel just like general stress and anxiety when it comes to money. Like I think we both work really hard. I think we have a nice life for ourselves. I'm not daily stressing. And I think that has kept my money really high over the past few years because a lot of my life wasn't stable when it came to money. But right now I feel like I don't know how we're not like budgeting, or we don't have like, I don't have a 360 view of like our finances, and I would like to just like be better at knowing what's going on.
We got to dial it in.
Yeah. And like work has started a little slower this year, so I am a little stressed, and we're spending so much on just our general lives are expensive, but then the dogs, babies, like there's just there's so many expenses, and I don't see any future where that lets up, because once we have the baby, they cost just as much, if not more money every year. So yeah, I'm just feeling like general kind of like overwhelm when it comes to money. What about you?
I gave myself a 2 on money.
Oh, wow.
Might be the lowest I've ever done in my life.
It is.
Few reasons. I took a pay cut at the company that I'm at because it's a very small startup, which is fine, but it's just been...
Doesn't sound fine.
Oh, that's what you do for the risk. But at this point, I need more. So there's that. And then...
It's hard balancing startup life and stability.
Yeah.
And you're really looking for stability right
now.
now.
Looking for stability right now. And then I think like my Tumblr decks are selling really well, but I just don't have like the mental capacity to focus on it. And so this is partly me being mad at myself. Like I gave myself a 2 in punishment for how much I feel is left on the table by me not focusing on this thing.
Yeah, you're like, this could be huge, and I'm just not giving it.
Yeah, and I just like believe that, and I'm frustrated at myself for that. So I would say 2. And also, we turned such a blind eye to budgeting. It's insane.
Yeah.
We got to get our shit on lock.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Which one do you want to go to next? Left or right on the wheel?
Left.
Fun.
Oh, mine's Friends.
Oh, okay.
To the left.
Cool.
Friends, I gave a 6.
Ooh, sheesh,
yeah, I don't know what I could do to make that area feel better. I feel like my long-term friends, I feel really good about. We're really good at, the last few years have changed a lot for everyone. We don't see each other every day. We have to get used to giving check-ins. And if we don't see each other for weeks or months, that's okay. And I think we've all hit that groove. I feel like a lot of those friends, there was some time where I was feeling like we were just progressing in life differently, that I wasn't really at the same place in my life with a lot of my closest friends. And it was hard to like have the same interests and time to hang out and whatever it may be. And I feel like that's either balancing out or we're getting in a groove of that's okay and acceptance. Yeah. And then I feel like we have made new friends who are in that place in their life. We've gotten closer with people who are at that place in life. I feel better at talking to friends and opening up to them. I just feel really good in every friendship in my life right now. So
how do you, honey?
Thanks. Which is crazy for me because I feel like that's historically a low area.
That's big growth for Bubba.
Yeah. So I feel really good.
Good job.
How are you feeling?
I gave myself a 5.
I figured you would.
Similar vibes.
Yeah.
I feel like group chats are going off. Quality time has been great. Effort has felt really good from friends of all kinds. I think my room for improvement, why I didn't give myself a 6, is that
more home hangs.
Well,
more parties.
I can't say that on this lovely day, but I'd love to. Actually, that is kind of the main thing. Is I miss group gatherings at our home. Is like what I dream about, which is crazy. Yeah. And we just haven't been doing that. Yep. So that to me is
Even though we had 2 groups of friends over twice in this past week. Yeah, you're right. We're not doing that at all.
We hadn't been doing that.
Yeah, I know. We hadn't been home.
Baby, you said a year. You said this is our year.
Okay, fair.
We haven't done that this year.
Yeah. Last year.
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying? I don't know.
Oh,
Whatever.
God, don't look, guys.
You should. You shut the fuck up over there.
Okay.
No, I get that though.
I'm going to health.
Go. Do it.
Go for health. I give myself a 4, and here's why. I know that's crazy, and I think it's very relevant to now.
Are you saying crazy good or crazy bad? Why'd you say crazy? Why is it crazy to you?
That's higher than I think you're expecting.
Yes. Okay.
And why?
No, I didn't know.
Which is rude.
Why is that rude?
Why are you so shocked by my 4?
Because health, you have health anxiety. It rules your life on the day to day.
My personal
that I didn't think you would ever go above like a 3 from the stress alone.
Well.
So I was really happy with the 4.
I give myself a 4 because I feel like I'm finding a good balance of controlling what is in my controllable stuff and trying to not go into panics for extended periods of time about things that I can't control. And one thing I'm always trying to figure out is like, I want to optimize my heart. I'm always like my cholesterol, my blood pressure, like whatever. And I have this year gone to the doctor once, got my stuff taken, said, nice, what should I do? They said, here's some supplements that you could try. I said, thanks. And I'm trying not to freak out about it. I'm trying not to go back to the cardiologist. I'm trying not to do anything.
Baby. I'm proud of you.
And then at the end of this year, really this like last couple of weeks, I've just been going really hard about moving my body again. And it's
been
like
working out like every day.
Yeah, and it's like making my brain chemistry feel better.
Yeah.
So that's me. 4. You?
I gave myself a 5. I couldn't imagine thinking any less when I get my blood taken nonstop. Like, if there was something wrong with me, we would know it. We've done every test. Like, the only thing I wanted, and like, I didn't want to say any lower when I'm literally hoping to be pregnant. I have to be in the mindset that I'm like so healthy.
Yeah.
I think we've been drinking way less, eating way less. That's terrible. I didn't mean that. Eating way better.
We haven't eaten in years.
We've been eating better, drinking less, like making healthier choices, and I genuinely feel them.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like manifesting good health into pregnancy.
Yep.
And yeah, the only thing I want to do is like move my body a little more. But
love that for us.
I can't, like, I'm like, what else would I do to be healthier? And I need to go to the dentist.
You do.
So bad. I'm so scared.
Nothing that I can see from here. Oh God. Great.
Yeah.
3, career. I'm just gonna be quick. I said 3. It's fine.
Yeah. I said 4. I wrote a 5 and I was like, don't lie. And I wrote a 4. Yeah, but I feel so hopeful for this year.
Same.
That it was hard. I have a hard time when I'm doing this, not adding my hope and excitement in my plans.
Yes.
Which is half of being satisfied, is like knowing what you want.
That's why doing this at the end of a year is a lot better because it is
just reflective.
Yes, just
Yeah.
reflective.
Right
now
that
we're
in
already in it.
Yeah, so I said 4. There's a lot of room for improvements. There's a lot of things I want to do, but those areas are more excitement than feeling down. Like, I do feel good.
I hear that.
Okay.
What'd you do for love?
Love, I did a 4.
Me too.
I think, like, my love you's at like 100, and I like this year it was hard because I almost did like really, really high because every day I'm reminded why you're my partner. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel so satisfied with being with you, and so 100% sure in choosing you as a partner, and so excited to see you as a mom. I think where I'm not satisfied and why it had to go down to a 4 is just like the disconnect.
Yeah.
We just haven't been, there's just been so much, and we haven't been able to just be us.
Yeah.
And I think we're generally pretty good at that, even when life is hard.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel excited. I'm like, I know that things are not going to slow down. We're going to have kids that talk about something that's going to like disconnect you that we have to focus on. We are good at like kind of like bonding through hard times. I just think this, because it's been so like physical and mental on us at different times, it's been really hard to just like be in it together at all times.
I agree.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. I think like really until the last like month.
Yeah.
I think we had a really good year of being like very good with each other.
Yeah.
And like
that's why I felt weird doing really, a 4, but
yeah, like even through our egg retrievals, I was like, we're freaking homies. Like we are like powering through what tears a lot of people.
Few hard moments during that.
But I think right now I gave a 4 because I'm like, I'm scared. This is like the first like kind of not negative challenge, but like potentially heavy. It's heavy. Yeah. This is heavy.
Yeah.
And it's feeling like it has like made us feel distance or like disconnect. And that scares me because I'm like, oh no, like shouldn't we be closer than ever? But I think once we get through the parts that are like heavy and hormonal and chaotic, we'll be able to like be a team. And I think like we're like that with the dogs. Like when shit is hard with the dogs, it's like we're a team.
Oh yeah. Like
perfect.
I always
so
feel like
why would it be any different than when we have a kid, and especially a kid that's our kid? Yeah. And I'm not saying that's gonna like save us, because I don't think we need saving. I'm just saying that piece has made it like it's still a 4. It's still better than it is bad in many, many, many ways.
Yeah.
But
we're also, you and I both are just really hard on ourselves when it comes to showing up in this relationship. I think we put a lot of pressure on it. I think because we like took such a big risk to be together, going from being friends for so long, like we've just officially been together longer than we were friends, that it was like this buildup of like, can it be as like special as we feel like it would be? So I think it put a lot of pressure on us, and we did that a lot in the beginning of our relationship. Through COVID was hard because we just had all this pressure of like, we should never fight, things should always be perfect, like we're so obsessed with each other that I feel like sometimes that carries on through our relationship, that we really have like really high standards for it, which I'm glad. I like those high standards.
yeah, I'd rather it be this than not.
I want us to work, and I want us to not like when we're off. I don't want us to get comfortable in being off. Like I don't want that to last. I don't want us to be there like we're not those people. But yeah, I think like we're a little tough. When I think to how amazing the whole year was, I'm like,
I know.
4?
I know. Same.
Crazy. But I think as much as we're trying to not let these past couple weeks cloud that, it's too hard to.
If these past couple weeks were not here, this would not be a 4. But it's like I just can't see past it at the moment.
I agree, honey. At least we're on the same page. Love you. Spirituality.
For me, so obviously spirituality made more sense when I was a Christian.
When you were doing this, like, was it not just
how's
religion?
your relationship with God?
Yeah, was it just like God? What was this section of the pie?
No, like it's still spirituality. It's still like, yeah. But I look at it now as like, how am I connecting with myself? And like, how do I feel about my time thinking and being creative? And like I think of it more like my inner world now, not like my connection to something bigger. Connection to someone, I say it like that. I gave myself a 2. I just feel, I feel this is good because I feel like I'm already getting a lot better, and I'll explain that when we go through our like what we're gonna do differently. But I think this year I didn't spend quality time with myself. Yeah. And I don't like when I'm like that. Yeah. Yeah. You?
I gave myself a 4. When I look back on the year, I didn't do the things that I know are needed for me, but I am aware of what they are, and I'm aware of my shortcomings. So as much as I'm like, yeah, you need to be better at this, I feel like when you get to like 1, 2, 3 territory, it's like, I'm not happy. I don't know how to fix it. I'm stuck. Like it felt too dark that I know what brings me joy. Like I read a lot last year, not towards the end of the year, but the beginning I had already read, like I wanted to read a book a month. I like hit 12 really early on. And then I think that's all I ended up doing. I like completely petered off at the end. But I know what I need to do.
Yep.
So,
Good.
Family.
You go first.
I gave myself a 5.
Nice.
This one was really hard for me. For personal issues that I'm like not gonna deeply get into on the podcast for others' privacy. But my family is so big now. And my family, when I read that word now, it's me, you, and our future babies. Like when I see family and what pops in my head, it's us, it's the dogs, and it's this IVF journey. And
Interesting.
I, in my heart, couldn't give us below a 5 when we have worked our ass this year to make a family.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of us. It's been hard, but like, as someone terrified of medical stuff, I can't count the amount of blood draws I've had and injections I have had. And I'm like, how can I say I'm not satisfied with that? And like my in-laws, I feel so lucky that your family is like, those are my family. Like, I hate even saying in-laws. I'm like, I wish there was a better word, because I'm like, that's my mom.
Yeah.
I feel so close with them. I feel like we've also spent more time like with your siblings. I feel so connected to them. I got to see my parents a lot more, and I see the effort that they're putting in to come here. I think for a long time they thought it was easier for me to come home, and I see them realizing how established my life is here.
Yeah.
And how they're like, my mom doesn't pressure me much. She doesn't make guilt trip me, and they just genuinely want to be involved in our day to day.
Yeah.
And like, my mom used to not be very good at asking me about what's going on in my life and remembering. They both texted me the other day checking in on Frank's vet appointment. I didn't even remember telling them what day it was. So I just feel really close with my parents and us and your/our family.
Yeah.
In-laws. So
That's great, honey.
yeah, I feel really good.
I'm happy to hear that.
Thanks. What did you do?
I also gave myself 5
Nice.
on family. Yeah, I just feel close. I feel close to my family, and calling really helps. My dad, like the beginning of the year, he would call, or I would call him, and he'd be like, "Oh, good to see your phone still works." Like he had this like joke of like we never talk. We just
Wait, did you ever fix it when he would call you? It wouldn't come through.
It started working. I don't know.
I just realized. I'm like, your dad calls now.
Yeah, it's so weird. My dad always called, but for some reason his calls weren't coming through to my phone. It was very weird.
He can call now, is what I meant.
But we couldn't say that anymore. And like I called Brett yesterday when I just had a thought about something with CarPlay, and I was like, I could text him, or I could just be like, "Hey, CarPlay, I love it. Bye."
It's so much easier to keep those tiny things. Like you could have Googled it.
Yeah.
But like doing those little things with the people you care about in your life, so that you don't have this daunting like, I gotta catch up and see how you've been for the past 3 months. Like,
Totally.
You just stay in constant small contact. It feels so much closer and so much easier to talk about the big things when they do come up.
Yep.
It's really nice.
And I think too, like with this fertility journey and stuff, like both of our parents, but like obviously I feel it differently for my parents because I'm so much more in it with them. They have like shown me what family looks like as an adult by the way they've shown up for us, and like the way they care, and like our wins are their wins and our losses are their losses. And like
Your mom came to my transvaginal ultrasound.
Yeah, she was in the room while Cam got probed. She was like, "Can I come?" We're like, "Sure."
And I was like, yeah, let's go.
And like with the fires, my parents let us stay at their house, and they're just like trying to not be in the way, trying to be so helpful. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what providing for your kids can look like as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's not just monetary. It's like this like deep, I am with you.
So much support.
Feeling.
Yeah. We hit the jackpot.
Yeah. We got so lucky. And like, I obviously feel that with your parents too. We just see them a little bit less.
Yeah.
Changes it.
All right. Last category.
Fun.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do?
Why? I did 3. But why'd you go 2?
We barely traveled.
That was why I did it too.
Half of the year was just doing fertility.
Yep.
Which fertility is not fun. And yeah, and then I also was like, oh my God, we had our whole basement fiasco. It was just, there was no time. It's like, I don't think I could have done anything different, But like, oh my God, it was just an exhausting year and there was not a lot of time for fun.
I agree.
Yeah.
We haven't been playing games.
I was thinking that the other day. I was like,
fuck?
oh my God.
And that's like,
Even when we were hanging with your parents, we didn't play a game. And I was like, guys, are
like,
we okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't been playing games and we haven't been traveling. And to me, I'm like, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
And
Weird.
when we go to dinner to try to like relax, we have to talk about fertility and our basement and
politics and the state of the country.
We're
like,
just like
too much.
Yes.
There's so many big, unavoidable, not fun topics.
Yeah.
That like it left very little room for fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now.
So what do we do?
So what do we do? This is what we do now. We look at like our lowest category or your 2 lowest categories, and we're going to share something that we can start doing to help get us out of that.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Okay.
What are your lowest categories? Your 2 lowest.
Fun and money. For fun.
Fun money.
Fun money. I need fun money.
You need fun money.
For fun, I said get off hormones, LOL. And more realistically, prioritize doing something I love either every day or every week. Like have a list in my phone of like, this is what you like to do and go fucking do it.
Yep.
So just like prioritize it. Prioritize it.
Hey,
what about you?
You got to prioritize it. For my 2 low, well, do your other lowest.
Money, I just said manage it better and be more aware.
Nice.
Like open your eyes. Sis.
Yeah. Like fucking wake
like
up, mama.
check your bank account.
Like cash out, mama.
Like don't buy the thing.
Like cash out, mama.
Yeah. Don't cash out.
Cash in, mama. I had my 2 lowest were spirituality and money. For money, I just said I need to be steady. I need to be steady with the Tumblr deck is my main thing. I think that can be quite big if I be steady.
I know it can. It's the most incredible product ever. If I didn't know you, I'd be shouting it to everybody as well.
Thank you, honey. Tumblrdeck.com, they're back in stock.
Yeah. I did a whole manifestation story. I really like to do that where I just like describe what my life looks like in a year, 2 years, whatever. And in it, Tumblr is
that's our income.
Off. It's yeah.
And then my second lowest is, or my other low was spirituality. I need to write more. I need to continue creating. I've been like feeling a lot more creative lately and just like making videos and just like being less scared of what I'm putting online.
Yeah.
And I've already been like, this is so fun.
Baby,
like
you've
it's
been
so
crushing
fun
it.
to
I'm
just
really
like
proud of
try
you.
shit.
Yeah.
And not be scared to like cringe yourself out.
Or be scared but still do it.
Yeah.
Do it scared.
Do it scared, they say.
Yep.
Highest? So I just need that for me.
Yeah.
My 2 highest, my top tied highest were friends and family.
Yeah.
So now you look at your top highest thing. Why do I keep saying top highest? That's
what it is.
It's the same thing, just highest.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And you think of the things that you want to keep doing. So the others were things that you need to start doing. These are things you want to keep doing that made your things high. Mm-hmm. For friends, quality time has been really good for me. Like actually spending one-on-one time with people or like double dates, I think has really helped me feel like rich in my friendships with people.
Love that.
And then group chats, man. When a group chat is popping off, I feel like I'm hanging out with them throughout the day.
Yeah. I'm so bad at group chats.
I think you're great. You're so chatty.
No, I pop in like once a day to
I don't
make
think
sure everyone remembers that I'm still here and fun.
Still here. Still depressed.
Still fun. Still cute.
Used to be fun. Will be fun again.
I'm still fun. Shut up.
Oh, no, sorry.
You used to be fun.
Sorry,
We'll
no.
be fun someday. This jerk. Moving on.
That was rude. I meant like just the last like week.
Yeah, okay, whatever. What are you doing to keep your family happy? Because not working. I take it back. I'm not your friend or your family. Leave me out of this.
For family, I'd like to keep phone calls quick. Don't need to be big and deep and catch up. They can just be like, thinking about you, what you're doing today, love you, bye.
I've been thinking about you.
Oh, no. Yeah, sexy phone calls to your family is really important. And then I said easy hangs. Yeah. A hang doesn't need to be this big ass planned thing. It can be like, yo, I'm stopping by for 10 minutes. I'm going to hug you and go.
Yeah.
So like little shit that's like good.
Love it.
You,
my
girl?
highest, I just had friends was technically my highest.
Well, you had a 6er and then 5s.
Yeah. Friends being the highest, just not shutting people out.
Yes.
I tend, when I'm going through hard times, to just alienate myself and deal with it alone.
Yeah.
So trying not to do that, trying to maintain that, or just being like telling people. I used to not tell people, and now I have literally to all my friends been like, I'm severely depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay.
She's
and
on
they're
watch.
great. Yeah. I'm on watch. My other
Yeah. I'm on
my other highest were family and health. Yeah, just family's been great. Still making time for them, making sure I am prioritizing seeing my parents, staying connected. Like our group chats with your family have been more chatty. Those are great too. And health is just like, yeah, I mean, hopefully I'm going to be pregnant, so I don't really know. Just trying to, oh my God, what is this?
I just noticed that. I think that's a letter from my college ex-girlfriend.
It is. And I've just been like showing it the whole time. What the fuck? Why did you give me this? You're so rude.
It's a notebook that is just, she wrote something in it and I've never really used it. Stop. Stop reading
And then
it.
on the next page is a note about the note. You writing yourself a note about
What
the
year
note.
is it?
2015.
Okay. It's literally
We
10 years ago.
already knew each other. How dare you date somebody before me? Just kidding. That's so funny. I lost my wheel. It's disappeared.
It rolled away.
Oh my God. Well, whatever. I think we're done.
We are done. Y'all, this was a very
Get there.
needed.
Get that out of here.
This is a very needed episode back.
Yeah, this made me feel a little better.
I missed you guys, and I will say, I feel like we were able, babe, to say some things to each other that we haven't really been able to say.
This is therapy.
Which also
It's
just
so nice.
proves to me how
We'll get there. Run it back. Try again.
how safe I feel
With the
the
PPs.
PPs.
Yeah.
We're not even doing this around our friends, even though some of our friends watch this.
It's such a unique way. That's how I've been sharing that when I film my YouTube videos. It's like a therapy session for me because I just do something like kind of mindless, like do my makeup or something and word vomit. Here, I feel like it's such a unique perspective because we're not talking to each other in a way of like how we would if we're moving through an argument or whatever, where we're like, shit, we're like telling a story about how we're feeling. So it feels way easier to receive it because it's like, we're not just sat here talking to each other, we're talking to them. So we're like, yeah, hey, this is how I'm feeling. So it's almost like if I was talking to my friend and being like, I'm struggling, Tara and I got a fight, this is what happened, and you got to watch me explain it.
Yeah.
It'd be easier to understand. And it's like, we're not interrupting each other as much as we actually do when we try to have these conversations.
100%.
That's why it's like sweet when people are like, oh, you guys handle conflict so well. Sit down and record yourself having the fight and talking to an audience. It's easier to do that.
The next time you and your partner are having a fight, face your phone at you guys. And
I don't mean like
record
hide it in the corner, not in the corner, because if you're just filming it, you're still having the fight. Like you'll probably just hate yourselves. But like talk to the camera.
That is what I was
Be like,
meaning.
it's almost like we have a therapist who just doesn't talk back to us. Which they barely fucking do.
The therapist or the peepees?
The therapist.
Oh my God, I thought you were shitting on the peepees.
No, I'm saying like
Which they barely fucking do.
like,
where are your comments? Where are your likes? Where are your subscribes? Fuck y'all.
No, y'all are great. Like I'm just saying sometimes when you're in therapy and they just like, you want them to tell you what to do or like explain and they just like keep letting you talk because it's true. You talk, therapy is great. You do kind of get there eventually.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of just like get to talk at the PPs until we understand each other. It's so therapeutic.
You know what I have to say?
What?
Any hoodlum. We're back.
We're back, baby.
I would like to invite you on a date. Would you like to hear about it?
Yeah.
Well, you're probably going to want to edit this.
Well, I need to get it up for the PPs. They've been waiting.
I hear you. I probably have a little bit more work I can get done.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you would like to go to Western Station with me and have a glass of wine and work.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Like I'll edit there and you'll work there right now?
Yeah.
Deal.
We love you guys. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support and your love. And
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.